Hello, it's me again. I'm just sitting on the park bench here, or not park, but yeah, it's a trailer park that I go through for walking every day. Um, I just kind of wanted to sit here and kind of relax and tell you guys how my day went today. Um, but first, let me tell you why I don't have a video yet up yesterday, and that was because I got trapped in Coquille for the night. It was because it was stormy and it was just so late by the time I realized it. I'm like, oh, I probably should call it, that kind of thing. During that time, though, my best friend had his girlfriend over, which I thought, honestly, I thought it was going to be a third wheel there. So I was being like, okay, I'm going to get ready for oh, why don't you go into the other room and that kind of thing. And for a little bit, it was, honestly. And I was being a little bit annoying, if I'm being honest, but it actually turned out to be one of the better experiences I could have had in recent years. So I don't have any other siblings besides my brother, and he's the greatest. I love my brother, but I've never had a sister, so I never had that kind of friendship growing up. I think that affects me for having actual female friends sometimes. Not that I see every single girl as like, oh, I'm going to go and date her or whatever. But I just never sought that out as a friendship. And I should have. There was plenty of opportunities for that. And I ruined a couple of friendships because of what I said earlier. Not that I do it all the time, but it is common. But I wanted to touch up on is what happened was she was telling me about how her brothers don't let her do this sort of thing with them. So I was like, not having a sister, I was like, you know what? I think this is a cool idea, and screw whoever doesn't think so, So what she did was painted my nails and then painted my toenails here. Let me switch cameras here. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you can tell that. But yeah. And honestly, most of these lines are kind of curvy because most of the time I was just laughing and she couldn't keep her straight face either. Her sides were sore by the time the whole thing was done. But it just was an experience that I've never gotten to be able to share with another person. And it's something important to me that I think a lot of people that don't have just only one sibling and stuff, that kind of thing, or only one gendered siblings, like two guys or something like that. But I'm getting up to finish my walk here because I want to do that sort of thing. But it was really nice to be able to do that and to actually have someone to share that with. It brought me, I'm still smiling from the whole experience today. I'm just so ecstatic from the whole experience. It's hard to explain. I've never had someone do that. I mean, I've had kind of goofy crap happen to me before, but not in that kind of sense. And especially because I've never had childhood friends. All I've had were adults to talk to when I was younger because I was homeschooled. So I never had that kind of, I think I was a silly kid, but I don't remember much now. But all I remember is just having to wait around a lot, honestly, if I'm being honest here. Because that's what you get when you're just waiting on adults, I guess. Because to a kid, time is it goes by really slow because, you gotta think of it, a year to a 7-year-old is a seventh of his life, and then a year to a 70-year-old is a 70, or 7, no, how does it go? 10 years to a 70-year-old is a seventh of his life. So it time is just a perceptual kind of thing, how old you are. Not necessarily that it'll be hard to keep track. That's why I'm partially doing this, so I can remember my younger self, because a lot of people don't remember mainly their younger selves as in like kid years. But hold on for a sec. Anyway, it just was very special to me, and I was able to teach my best friend how to massage certain parts of the body. Like I did feet, calf, showed him how to do it partially on the back and the lower calf, and then there was the shoulders, because he never had that kind of experience before. When I mainly have to work for my relationships, kind of. I feel like, at least for the 3 I've had so far, I was the sole initiator kind of thing. I pursued the girl, basically. And with this situation, it is both on their parts. I like to think that she pursued him more than he did her, but it doesn't really matter now since they're together. It just turned out to be that he kind of fell into relationships, you could say, I guess. Not that he didn't have to try, but like, he's not that mentally oriented. Like, I'm actively pursuing that, and that's one of my bigger things in life. I want to be settled down and just chill. I really don't have any ambitious plans with like money or anything like that. I just want to just have a family and just kind of be boring, I guess. And I'm content with that, and I'm happy with that, actually, I should say. So that's something that I think a lot of people take for granted, just being happy, or not being happy, but you don't have to be a daredevil to be happy in life, Hold on. It always seems to me that it's just kind of hard to do that for so long, because I get tired after a while of trying. It discourages me. But that's why I think family is so important. They can lift you up and be like, you know what, you're going to find someone eventually, And I know that's going to happen. It's just, I need something like this to be able to vent myself. Not that they aren't good listeners, it's just, I think personally you need to just say what you're feeling. Even if it's to a camera, or just to yourself. Like, if you need to just talk about it, you don't have to talk about it with someone. For me, though, I just think people would enjoy seeing this, and at least for my friend group and my family, just, as a personal thing. If other people enjoy this, that's going to be great too, because then they may get some help from what I'm saying. It's just something I've learned and what I experience day to day. And it doesn't have to be scary to be alone. You don't have to pursue someone to be happy either. It's just how I am. I think I just really need someone. And I know I do. But if you're independent on your own kind of thing, and you just don't have that passion or drive to get someone, then don't be coaxed into doing it. Because that's not right. You shouldn't have to be pushed into a relationship, and you shouldn't have to be feeling like you are being pushed away from a relationship. You know, you date to get married, that kind of thing. And if you're just dating to date, you're just wasting both of your time. Because it's like having it'd be like having the money for a new car that would actually suit you better, but sticking with an old convertible because it's fun and you're comfortable with it. You know, it's not fair to either thing. Because if someone wants to put in the drive and passion to actually fix up the old convertible, or if someone actually wants the old convertible or you want the new car, then you shouldn't be playing around with it. You should just commit to what you feel and what you want, you know? Because the worst that'll ever happen is you just get denied, or that just turns out not to be what you thought it was. And that's happened to me before. I've had situations where I had a couple options and I screwed them both up somehow, which with a little hindsight, I could have been fine with one option, but maybe it's for the better, because I don't know if I'd be making these videos if I did that. And I really enjoy this. So honestly, I don't think I would change anything in my life, because if you really think about it, if you change the slightest thing, that might have changed you very slightly enough to lean towards a direction you might not necessarily want. Because that's you. If you change yourself, that's God be on you, and it has to be in the present. You can't change your past. And you can't tell what you're going to be in the future, obviously. But you just got to do that on your own. You know, you can't be, oh, I'm going to change for this person because I really like them and that sort of thing. Because it never does work. Because what ends up happening is that you're going to be unhappy in that relationship because you have to stick with that forever. Like, you have to stick with what you changed about yourself to get with them. And that's just not healthy. That's not good. Because not only that's bringing in untrustworthiness into the relationship right off the bat, it's just dishonest to yourself, and it's not healthy to yourself. And that's what my best friend's previous relationship was. He thought that he wasn't getting pushed around like he was. And I told him straight up multiple times, I'm like, dude, you are getting whipped. He's like, no, I'm not. You know, it's both kind of together. You get blindsided. You get biased and you don't think what you're really thinking. So I think a lot of people should just, even if they don't post it anywhere, just record themselves and just kind of list off what they like and dislike and that sort of thing. It doesn't have to be important, you know, but like, what's your favorite food, that kind of thing. Because it all of a sudden changes when you have someone you're liking after and you're like, oh, well, they like this, so I automatically like this now. I know that's kind of a dumbed down version of it, but it's true. And I've done it multiple times. I don't think I ever was honest with myself in a relationship. And it's sad. And I'm going to be next time, though, because I have proof of who I am and how I like to be treated in these videos. So I'm just happy I gained a sister, though. That was pretty cool. I'm just ecstatic. I'm still smiling on that. Honestly, it's something that it was just amazing, is all. It's still kind of shocking too, because I'm like, that's how it is. And I'm going to be very surprised if they break up. Honestly, they're like Bonnie and Clyde. You know, they'll go out in a gunfight before they break up, you know, that kind of thing. Romeo and Juliet, but they committed suicide. So I guess it's not good to be a couple. All right, heard it here, folks. Don't be a couple, otherwise something bad's going to happen to you. No, I'm just joshing around, but just don't lie to yourself. You know? And if you're at work and all you can think about is personal things, try to figure out for yourself, you know, if something's going wrong and it's putting you in a bad mood and it's just bothering you, just let it out. Because nothing's worth making a day out of a bad thing. If it was only a 5-second thing that made you feel terrible for, you know, that short of a duration, it's not worth making 24 hours of it. You know, unless it's something terrible, like relatives dying or something like that. But, you know, you don't have to make a production out of a teaser trailer, you know. And if something sensitive happens in a relationship, like something goes wrong that's little, and it's a part of your personal relationship that you love the other person, if they make a mistake and the other person also made a mistake, it's something that you'll have to discuss with them. Because if there's any legitimate feelings in there, that's going to be a problem for all three of you. That creates love triangles, and that's not good. You know, I mean, it works for some people, but personally, me, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that to anyone else, you know. All right, so I'm going to be in my trailer here, so hold on, let me pause the recording.